I set up the guy who cut me off in double turn lane to get speeding ticket. I'm in the outer left turn lane, other car is in the inner left turn lane. We are both first in line. The light turns green, we both begin to go. The guy on my left punched it and then merged into my lane mid-turn. Okay, maybe he needed to turn into the shopping center on the right, so I merge into the lane he was supposed to be in and accelerated to the speed limit 25. He doesn't turn into the first driveway or the second but matches my speed. Okay. The street as soon as the shopping center ends merges into one lane, and at the same time has school zone lights flashing, which means you must drive 15 miles per hour through the school zone. This is my neighborhood, and when I left my apartment earlier there was a cop sitting in the semicircle driveway of the skilled nursing facility behind their big sign. When this happened in the turn lane, I hope the motorcycle coupe was still there. I know that as soon as you cross those flashing lights you better be going 15 miles per hour. I made the guy think that I was trying to pass him, so he sped up and then I slammed on my brakes and did the 15 miles per hour. He actually put up his pointy finger inside the car and waved it like you do when you tell someone no. He never slowed down and drove straight past the cop, who immediately pulled him over. I turned right to go to my apartment and waved as I did. Messing with a pro. 19. Know who you're dealing with. I opened this to ask what the 19 meant, but when I did it says 1. Weird. Same for me. Then. This is UK, so we're driving on the other side of the road to the US. We're at a set of lights on a roundabout. I'm in the left lane. Next exit is to a McDonald's. He's some young musclehead squeezed into a little Citroen C1 in the right-hand lane. Lights turn green and he immediately cuts across me to take the exit. I almost plow into him but just managed to brake. I'm obviously not happy, so I followed him into the McDonald's traffic queue. Pulled up next to him and asked if he always drives like a CNT or if it's something he's been working on. I've already raised my window and driving away before he had to come back or got out of the car. Most disappointing thing was the incident was just on the gap between files for my dashcam, so it didn't capture anything. Over here we can send evidence of speed driving to the police so they can issue fines. I don't suppose the arrogant gobspeep learned anything from it though. Oh man, the gap period between files on dash cams has gotten me too. Gotta share. Was a work stop. Got smacked in the face by a drunk because he thought I was taking pictures. He didn't care what I was doing, he was just an a-hole looking for a fight. He was the father-in-law of the customer I was meeting, but she wasn't there yet. I had to pass the home twice because I couldn't find it, and while doing so was using my maps program on my work tablet. Thus he thought I was casing his daughter's house or something, I guess. He didn't want to hear what I was actually doing though. Also, I will point out that the altercation happened next to my car and I had my windows cracked. Also, my dash cam is motion activated and it still will continue to record for minutes after I shut my car off. I literally have to sift through those exact type of videos all the time. Well, lo and behold, after all of that mess quickly ended was only 3 minutes of time that the incident occurred. I checked my dash cam and of course none of it was on there. Just for anybody who might ask, I was not on his daughter's property. It was on a public sidewalk, so if I were to have called the police there would have been no trespassing defense, and of course it would have been clear he was 1. Drunken 2. A hole. Dude hit like a BTCH though and I got mine. So no harm no foul, Lamau. What happened? If it were me I'd have refused to continue working with that customer and explained exactly why. Let them deal with daddy dearest. You had home field advantage. Instant karma is an unparalleled satisfaction. Did you wave your finger at him as you passed? That was satisfying to read. Ugh, that had to be so satisfying. So satisfying. Did he look at you as you went by? The fact he thought he had the upper hand cracks me up. Unfortunately, we'll never know if he saw me wave my hand out my window as I turned right onto my street. I just waved by. I thought about driving by him and going all the way around to the other apt entrance, but I didn't want my instant karma to backfire on me by gloating. And since he went 25 miles per hour and I went 15 miles per hour, he was pretty far ahead of me when I got to my right turn home. Nobody. This dude, I'ma do what's called a pro gamer move. Asshole driver, cuts this dude off in a traffic turn. This dude, I'ma do what's called a pro gamer move. A long way back in the mists of time, late 1990s, I worked 6 to 2 in a warehouse and drove to work. GF worked as a receptionist, 9 to 5 in a company near the A40, relevant later, and had a bus pass, so I would pick her up every day. One summer's Friday evening, I've picked her up and got onto the A40 London bound, and despite heavy traffic, it's flowing freely and I'm able to smoothly segue into the inside or fast lane, and the road is 50 miles per hour in that section, target roundabout to Hoover Building. IMS. Within seconds though, I've got some Thieepwit in a 3 Series that starts leaning on his horn, flashing his lights at me and almost wanting to shove his right foot into my back box for the inquisitive. I was the embarrassed owner of a second-generation Nissan Sunny estate that rolled around bends like a fishing boat in a gale, but couldn't pull the skin off of Coco. The smart thing to do is to pull over and let him pass me. It's the weekend and me and my girl have it to ourselves. But I can't. There are no gaps I can see I can maneuver into. So I accelerate as much as I dare, keeping a gap between me and the fella in front, and get hyper vigilant for anything happening 10 to 15 cars in front. And for any potential gaps I can pull into. At this point my little group in front and behind me are doing 60 to 65 miles per hour and rapidly approaching the Hoover building, where the speed limit drops to 40, and there's an evil sneaky bastard Gatso camera. They were painted gray back then, and I'm starting to get quite a bit twitchy by now. But wait, I see a lovely big empty space in the lane to my left, big enough for 6 cars. I edge closer to the car in front, hoping to dive into the space at the earliest opportunity, give myself some room to the new to my acquaintance car behind me, and then brake firmly to an indicated 40 miles per hour, and all without any drama before the Gatso. I double check, and the bell end in the Beamer is no less keen to cleave all of 5 seconds off his journey times, and just as I flick my indicator stalk, the guy in front does the same and dives for my spot. Speep! I stomp on the throttle 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the needle moves. I move up to a gap, slide in and firmly brake. I focus purely on the speedo. With a quick check on the space I've left behind me, all good. And when I see I'm at a safe speed, I look up again to see the ultimate driving machine driven by an ultimate micro penis go sailing past me. And the camera and the flash going off twice in rapid succession. I laughed so much I could have crashed, and if I'd have died, it'd have taken the Undertakers a month to wipe the grin off my face. Couldn't pull the skin off of Coco. No lie, I had to pause at this part of your story until I could stop laughing. Excellent. I can't stand it when people do that. There's a 2-lane left turn like this very close to my house, and almost every time, the person in the leftmost turn lane comes over mid-turn or immediately after in order to get to the shopping center at the next light. Plan ahead, people. It's not that difficult. I once was trying to get over on my left-hand lane in bumper-to-bumper traffic, but the girl wasn't letting me. She matched me at every speed. Suddenly her left, which was used only for a left turn and had an island in front of it, became open. She hurriedly jumped on that lane only to realize her mistake. I quickly moved right to her spot, and she spent the majority of our red light begging me with her eyes and waving to be let back in. I of course spent the entire time laughing at her. Beautiful. Feet posts like these kinda make me want to post about the time I got someone flashed by those stupid cameras. Do it. Was this is South FL? They don't play when the school lights come on, lol. This was in Reno NV. They are out there almost every day. Must be a good spot for revenue. Oh okay. They are vigilant like that down there too. I don't even like to leave when it's school time, cause if that's beep. If he actually got the ticket as opposed to a warning that's likely to be an expensive ticket, speeding through a school zone is not one of the cheaper ones. Sweet revenge. Give him that Matambo finger wag right back. People turning into the wrong lanes is one of my biggest pet peeves on the road. Your story makes me feel good that some jackass finally got theirs. Most the cops here don't even turn into the proper lanes and run lights half the time, no sirens. I never see anyone get pulled over for driving like a dumbass. Calculated. Do you see what you get when you mess with the warrior? I actually thought you were kind of a dick, BC. He was just trying to get to the shopping center. And then you told the naughty finger part Lamau. Nope, he was an egoist. The other driver actually wasn't trying to get into the shopping center. In Op's post, Op mentions that at first they thought that the driver was going there, but they didn't. And then they both passed the shopping center. They didn't. VC Op didn't allow it. The post says that the driver didn't turn into the first or the second driveway. So the driver didn't want to go into the shopping center. Yeah, you missed all the stuff before that. Who cares? It's not that serious. Well-earned karma. Fantastic. WP. Was it the same finger pointy wave? That would have been my response. Well played. Hopefully the cop saw him extending the finger and the driver suffered stronger consequences. Beautiful. This is petty revenge. This is masterful revenge. Instant karma is the best. Love it, but I'm glad there weren't any kids crossing the street or this hilarious baiting could have ended in manslaughter. Disclaimer, no children were harmed or in any danger. Please know that I would never put any children in danger. That said, the lights are at the beginning of about one long block on the left side of the street and three short blocks on the right side of the street. And the school entrance is at the end of the long block and down the side street, but we do drive by the fenced playground that doesn't have any public access on that particular street. All the drop-offs and pickups are done on that side street and they have to go to the end because it's a cul-de-sac and the school is on the left, so they make everyone go to the cul-de-sac and drop the kids off on the way back out of the cul-de-sac. Kids do walk from my apartments, but school already started and the crossing guard was already gone. They keep the lights on all day from 30 minutes before and after school. Well played, sir. You instituted Rule 34. The amount of satisfaction I felt just reading this. I feel really good about this. I've seen a video of this guy racing up to catch up to this guy and yell at him, only to not look where he's going and smash into the stopped car ahead of him. Lol.